Hi guys, my name is Nikita and today I'll be going through E for English's Class 6, Level 3, Worksheet 2, which is all about capitalization. So let's learn what a capital letter is versus what a lowercase letter is. A capital letter is what we use at the beginning of a sentence, and it's a big letter. And a lowercase letter is what is used to start words that are not at the beginning of the sentence. There are a few exceptions, which we'll go over in future worksheets. But in order for you guys to actually visualize what a capital letter is versus what a lowercase letter is, I have typed out all of the capital letters right here at the top. And you can see that these are all the letters of the alphabet. And then when you go down, you see all the lowercase letters. And you can obviously see the difference between the letters. Capital letters are much bigger than lowercase letters, and lowercase letters are the smaller letters that are used to start words that don't come at the beginning of sentences. Okay, so let's try capitalization exercise 1. I'm not going to spend too much time doing this exercise because it's pretty self-explanatory. So with the red pencil, you have to circle the capital letter of the pair, and then with a blue pencil, you're going to circle the lowercase letter. I'm not going to circle them, I'm going to highlight them. But in these pairs of letters, you can see that the first one is the bigger one, and that is the capital letter. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this for the top row because I think you guys can do the rest on your own. So I have gone ahead and highlighted the capital letters of those pairs in red. And those are the bigger letters. If you look at them in terms of size, you can see that the red letters are way bigger than the not red letters. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight these in blue. These are the lowercase letters, all of these ones that are in blue. So you can see that the big A is bigger than lowercase a. And that's going to be the case with most of these capital letters and lowercase letters, as you can see. So now let's move on to exercise 2. But before that, we have a rule. Okay, so our first rule is going to be that the first letter of the first word of a sentence is always a capital letter. In other words, what we're talking about here is that the first word's first letter is always, always, always going to be a capital letter. It doesn't matter if there's a sentence before this word, or if there's a question mark before this word, or a period before this word. It doesn't matter. The first word of a sentence always starts with a capital letter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in blue. So we always have to capitalize the first letter of the first word. So for example, the girl sings, pigs are cute, we eat fruit. The T in the for the girl sings is capitalized. The P in pigs for pigs are cute is capitalized. And the W in we for we eat fruit is also capitalized. So now using that rule, we're going to start exercise 2. So what we have to do is circle the first letter of the first word of the sentence and then rewrite the sentence with the correct capitalization. So I'll go through the first 3 examples of this. So let's go through the example though. Our example is he eats food, and we have to go ahead and circle the first letter of the first word. And the first word here is he, and the first letter is H, as you can see right here. The H has been circled in this blue circle that you can see right here. And now when we go back and rewrite the sentence, we have to go and correct the capitalization. So over here, the H is not capitalized. That's actually a lowercase h. But that's incorrect because according to our first rule up here, we have to always capitalize the first letter of the first word of a sentence. And that is not what is happening here. The first letter of the first word is not capitalized here. So we have to go back and fix that. So that's why when we rewrite the sentence, we have a capital H instead of a lowercase h. And that's what we're going to be doing for the rest of these problems. So let's try number 1. What is our first step to do in this sentence? Exactly, we have to look at the first letter of the first word of the sentence. So instead of circling them, I'm going to be highlighting them in green. So let's go ahead and do that. So I made the Y for you green. And now what do we have to do? We have to correctly capitalize it, right? And we have to rewrite it. So, what is our first step? We already found the lowercase y, but now we need to make that an uppercase Y because according to our first rule, the first letter of the first word of our sentence always, always, always has to be capitalized. So we're going to go back and instead of writing a lowercase y, we're going to put an uppercase Y. So we're going to write that with U, and as you can see here, it is now an uppercase one. And now we're just going to write the rest of the sentence. And that's our answer. Okay? So let's try number 2. Are you happy? What's our first step here? What did we do in this problem? Good. We found the first letter of the first word. So what's the first letter of the first word? Shout it out. Good. It's A. So let's make that green. And now what do we have to do? We have to write it correctly with the right capitalization. So what letter here needs to be capitalized? Exactly, it's the A that we made green. So let's go ahead and rewrite our sentence. Capital A, and then we're going to finish the word are you happy? And it's the same exact sentence. So the sentence is exactly the same. The only thing that's changing is the first letter of the first word. Let's try number 3. So our first step is to look at, shout it out, the first letter of the first word. Exactly. So in this case, the first letter of the first word is going to be K for Karen. And now what do we have to do? Shout it out, shout it out. Exactly. We have to rewrite the entire sentence with the right capital letters. What letter are we changing here? Is it R? Is it T? Is it K? Yes, it's K. So we're going to switch out the lowercase k for a capital K and then write the rest of Karen's name and then write the rest of the sentence just like it was. So again, the only thing we're changing is the first letter of the first word. And that's basically what you have to do for capitalization exercise 2. And I think you guys got the hang of that, so let's move on now. Okay, so there's a lot of examples, but I know you can do it. Okay. Rule 2. The word I is always capitalized in a sentence, even if it's not at the front. So, for example, we have I sing, and this I is at the beginning of a sentence. So there's 2 rules that happen here. The one that says the first letter of the first word always has to be capitalized, and the word I always has to be capitalized. But if you look at this example, you see that I isn't even at the beginning of a sentence, right? It's actually kind of in the middle of the sentence, but it's still always capitalized. So looking at that, we're going to do exercise 3, and I'm just going to go through the first example. Oops, this was supposed to go here. Okay, so we have to find the I in the sentence and then rewrite the sentence. So let's actually do number 2. He and I are friends. So what do we have to do in this sentence? Good, we first have to find the letter I. Where do you guys see the letter I? Point at it or shout it out. I see it right here, exactly. So instead of circling that, I'm just going to highlight that in green. And now we're going to rewrite the sentence properly. So it's exactly like the other exercise that we just did, where you write out the rest of the sentence, but then you correct the thing that is in green. So the thing that's in green is the word I, and we have to make that capital because it's the word I. And then we're just going to write the rest of the sentence as it is. And that's how you're going to do the rest of these exercises. Okay? Now you're going to learn another rule. The first letter of a person's name is always capitalized, even if it's not at the front. So this is just like the word I, and it's always going to be capitalized. The first letter of a person's name is always going to be capitalized, even if it's not at the front. So in this example, the person's name is Divya, okay? And you see that the D that starts her name is capitalized. But even if you move the name towards the end of a sentence or towards the middle of the sentence, The word is still always going to be capitalized. The first letter is always going to be capitalized. So in example 2, you see my name is Timmy. Timmy's name is coming at the end of the sentence, but Timmy still has a capital T. Okay, so let's try exercise 4. We have to find any names in the sentences and then circle the first letter of each of those names. Then we have to rewrite the sentence. So in number 1, what is the name? John likes the color red. Shout out the name in this sentence. John, exactly. So I'll go ahead and bold that. But now let's look at the first letter of John's name. What is the first letter of his name? J. Exactly. But J is not capitalized, but we have to go ahead and capitalize that because that's what our rules say to do. So we're going to capitalize the J and then write the rest of his name out and then just write the rest of the sentence the way it is. And I'll make John's first letter green so you guys can see the difference. So you see in this one it's lowercase and in this one it's uppercase. And this one is the correct answer because someone's first letter of their name always, always, always has to be capitalized. Okay, let's try a random example. Like his name is Ryan. So we're doing number 6 now. Where is the name in this sentence? Shout it out. At the end, exactly. And the name is Ryan. What is the first letter of Ryan's name? R. But look, it's not capitalized. Is that wrong or is that right? Shout it out. That's wrong, right? Because we always have to capitalize the first letter of someone's name. So let's rewrite the sentence, but with a capital R. And that's exactly how you're going to do the rest of these problems. Okay, now let's try exercise 5. So this is going to be a mixed review of everything we just learned today. This is going to have words at the beginning of a sentence that are not capitalized. This is going to have words that are names of people. This is going to have the word I in it. And we all have to go back and find those letters and correct them. So let's try number 13. I like this one because it's a little harder, but I know you guys can do it. So what do we have to capitalize? I want you guys to tell me. Shout it out. Okay, so we have to capitalize the S in she because remember rule 1 that said all words that come at the beginning of a sentence always have to be capital. And then the second thing is I because I always, always, always has to be capitalized. So let's rewrite that now with the correct capitalization. And I'm going to make those green so you can see the difference. These were lowercase, right? Up here. And then you come here and it's uppercase. Okay. Let's try number 17. Open your eyes, John. Okay, now I want you to shout out the words that need to be fixed in this sentence. Exactly, it's open. And what's the second word? John. Good. And why? Someone tell me the rules. Why do we need to do that? Good, because open is at the beginning and John is the person's name. So we're going to rewrite this. Open your eyes, John. So that is it for this video. I hope this helped with capitalization. Go ahead and finish through all the exercises on this worksheet and be sure to check out the rest of the videos on this channel for more help. See you guys later.